Right now, there are people paying $40, $60, even $100 a month for AI tools that do the exact same thing as free versions sitting right next to them online, and they have absolutely no idea they're wasting their money. Somewhere out there, someone just canceled a subscription to a paid AI tool without realizing a free version existed that could do 90% of the same job. And by the end of this video, that's not going to be you, because I'm about to walk you through the free AI tools that are quietly outperforming their expensive competitors, and exactly how they stack up when you put them side by side. Stick around, because tool number 4 completely changed how I think about paying for anything AI related ever again. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and tap the like, because on this channel, AI Unlocked Official, we track down the tools that actually save you money while still getting the job done right. Alright, let's get into it. Here's something most people don't realize about the AI world right now. A huge percentage of the tools people are paying premium prices for have free alternatives that were either built by smaller teams trying to compete or offered by the same companies as limited but genuinely useful versions meant to hook new users. The trick is knowing which free tools are actually worth using and which ones are just watered-down bait designed to push you toward a paywall the moment you get comfortable. So let's start with something almost everyone needs at some point: writing assistance. There's a well-known paid AI writing tool that charges a monthly fee for grammar correction, tone adjustment, and rewriting suggestions. But there's a free alternative that uses a similar underlying AI model, and in blind testing, casual users genuinely struggle to tell the difference between the two outputs. The free version does have some daily limits, sure, but for the average person writing emails, social posts, or basic documents, those limits rarely even become a problem. Now let's talk about image generation, because this is where the free versus paid conversation gets really interesting. A lot of people assume that if you're not paying, you're stuck with blurry, low-quality, obviously fake-looking images. That used to be true. It's not anymore. There are free AI image generators right now producing results that are shockingly close to what you'd get from paid competitors charging $20 or $30 a month. The difference mostly comes down to generation speed and how many images you can create per day before hitting a limit. If you're a casual user, someone making a few images a week for a blog post or a social media graphic, the free tier is often more than enough. But if you're running a business that needs dozens of images daily, that's when the paid version starts to genuinely make sense, because the free plan's limits become a real bottleneck rather than a minor inconvenience. Here's where things start to get a little more surprising though, because coding assistance, something that used to be locked firmly behind expensive developer tools, now has some incredibly capable free options. There are AI coding assistants available at no cost that can explain complex code, help debug errors, and even generate small functional scripts on request. Compare that to paid coding tools charging monthly fees for similar functionality, and the gap has narrowed dramatically over the past year. The paid versions still tend to win when it comes to handling massive code bases or working seamlessly inside professional development environments, but for someone learning to code or building small personal projects, the free tools are honestly good enough that paying feels almost unnecessary. Let's shift over to something a lot of people don't think about until they actually need it, which is transcription and note-taking. Paid transcription services can charge based on how many minutes of audio you upload, and those costs add up fast if you're transcribing meetings, interviews, or lecture recordings regularly. But there are free AI transcription tools now that handle this with surprising accuracy, especially with clear audio and standard accents. The catch tends to be speed and file length limits, meaning free versions might take longer to process a file or cap how many minutes you can transcribe per day. For students, freelancers, or anyone transcribing occasionally, that trade-off is barely noticeable. For someone running a podcast production company transcribing hours of content daily, the paid tools start pulling ahead because time efficiency actually starts to matter at that scale. Now here's the tool that genuinely surprised me the most, and it's in the video editing space. AI-powered video editing used to be something you'd only find in expensive professional software, the kind requiring a steep learning curve and a subscription that costs more than most people's grocery budget. But there are free AI video editing tools now that can automatically cut silences, add captions, remove filler words, and even suggest better pacing, all without costing a cent. The paid competitors still offer more advanced features, like more precise color grading or higher resolution export limits. But for someone just trying to make clean, professional-looking content for social media, the free tools are handling the basics remarkably well. So, what's the actual pattern here, the thing tying all of this together? Free AI tools have gotten so good, so fast, that the real question isn't whether a free option exists anymore. It's whether the free version's limitations actually affect your specific use case. If you're a casual user, a student, a hobbyist, or someone just starting to explore what AI can do, free tools are probably going to cover almost everything you need. The moment you start scaling up, running a business, handling client work, producing content daily at a professional level, that's usually when the limitations of free plans start to genuinely slow you down, and paying for a premium version starts making real financial sense. It's not about free being better or worse than paid, it's about matching the tool to how much you're actually going to use it. And here's something worth thinking about for a second. A lot of companies offering these free AI tools aren't doing it out of pure generosity. They're doing it because getting you comfortable using their product, learning its quirks, building a habit around it, makes you significantly more likely to upgrade later once you hit those usage limits. It's a smart business strategy, and it's also genuinely useful for consumers because it means you get to test drive powerful AI tools without any financial risk before deciding whether they're actually worth paying for. The people who are getting the most value out of AI right now aren't necessarily the ones spending the most money. They're the ones who took the time to actually explore what's available for free before assuming they needed to pay for anything at all. That's honestly the biggest mistake I see people making with AI tools. They see a shiny paid product advertised everywhere, assume it must be better simply because it costs money, and never bother checking if a free alternative could do the exact same job. Price and quality don't always move together, especially in a space this competitive, where dozens of companies are racing to attract users by offering genuinely capable free tiers just to get a foothold in the market. Testing things out costs you nothing but a few minutes of your time, and in a lot of cases, that small effort can save you hundreds of dollars a year without sacrificing much in terms of actual results. So here's my question for you, and I actually want to hear your answer. Out of everything we covered today, which free AI tool are you going to try first, and is there a paid tool you've been using that you might not need anymore after watching this? Drop your answer in the comments because I read every single one, and I'm genuinely curious how many people realize they've been overpaying this whole time. If this video saved you from spending money on something you didn't need, or introduced you to a free tool you didn't know existed, do me a favor and share it with someone who's still paying full price for AI tools without checking if a free version could do the job just as well. Because at the end of the day, the smartest move in this fast-moving AI world isn't spending the most money, it's knowing exactly where to look before you spend anything at all. Want to be notified when Claude responds? Claude is AI and